Good evening and welcome to HPU News. I'm Jocelyn Gansert.
And I'm David Wintrow. Tonight, Kim Jong-nam's killer has been charged and is on trial for murder.
And Uber in hot water yet again this week.
But first, let's throw it over to our weather woman, Kit Curtis. Kit, are we going to have some nice weather heading into spring break?
Oh yeah, we definitely are. Who's ready to hear about some spring break weather? Well, so first we're going to hear about our high and low pressures that we're going to be experiencing this week. So if you're going home to the northwest area of the country, you're going to be experiencing some high pressure winds, but then everyone here down in the south is going to be experiencing those low pressure winds. Now let's look at the national weather. So we have students going home for spring break to all different parts of the country. If you're going home to that northwest, you're going to still experience those mid-40s and low 50 temperatures. If you're going to the South Texas area, you're going to be experiencing those 60s and high 50 temperatures. And here in the Northeast, unfortunately, it will be still very cold, experiencing those 20s to 30 degree temperatures. But if you're going home to South Florida like I am, then you're going to be experiencing some sunny 70 degree weather. Now, if you are staying here in High Point for spring break, this is what you'll be experiencing in the next 10 days. So in the next week, it'll still be pretty cold, around 50 to 60 degrees. Definitely not as cold as those northeast temperatures. It will rain on Tuesday, and it will be partly cloudy with just your mid 60 degrees. And that's it for our spring break weather. Back to you, Dave.
Thanks, Kit. Any plans for spring break, Dave?
Yeah, I'm going skiing actually. I'm going to Canada, so no wet and wild for me, but what are you doing?
I'm still not sure yet. I guess I got to figure something out. Maybe stay in High Point.
It is coming up very, very close. So
I know.
Yeah, I figured that out. I figured it out.
Well, abroad right now in North Korea, the girl in charge of killing Kim Jong-nam, Siti Asae, is on trial for murder. Kim Jong-nam's death was caused by a toxic chemical that Siti Asae allegedly rubbed on his face. Her motives are unclear. However, the 25-year-old did mention that she thought she was being filmed for a prank show and that the chemical she was putting on his face was not a chemical, but baby oil. While the murder is still under investigation, Siti Asae is suggested to have been manipulated by another person or party. The penalty Siti faces is death should she be found guilty.
And last year, California passed legislation requiring background checks on all gun owners trying to purchase ammunition. This caused a right-wing blogger responded by publishing a tyrant registry, making the names and addresses of all of the gun owners public. He urged everyone to share the names and said they would only be removed from the list once the law was taken away or, quote, upon the tyrant's deaths. Now a California judge has ruled the man's actions constitutional under the First Amendment, so the list with citizens' names and addresses will not be taken down.
2 people recovering now after a misfired weapon injured 2 French citizens during the President of France's speech on Tuesday. During President Francois Hollande's speech, the city of Valognes, a security detail's gun went off and injured 2 people. While there is no further word on exactly what happened, a case has been opened on the issue. The detail was a sniper positioned on the roof of a building. The mayor of Valognes, Mayor Claude Gouton, claims the incident to have been an accident and said that the injuries are not to be life-threatening. Hollande has since left the city.
The 2 PricewaterhouseCoopers accountants who are allegedly to have given the wrong envelope to the presenters for the Best Picture Oscar are said to not be invited back for next year's Oscars. An Academy spokesperson said that Martha Ruiz and Brian Cullinan will remain with PricewaterhouseCoopers but will no longer be on the firm's team that assists the Academy. PwC is one of the world's leading accounting firms that has been with the Academy for almost 100 years. This relationship has included having PwC assist in managing Oscar ballots. While there is no further word on the Academy's attempts to further prevent another fiasco as this again, removing the 2 people in charge of the ballots is a start.
Now, there's no campus update this week because of spring break, but I hear there's plenty going on with our High Point Panthers, right, Kevin?
There's a ton of stuff going on for the High Point Panthers, a lot of home games, and the Big South tournament is going wild right now. Asheville lost 2 seed, and Liberty lost. So High Point could potentially host a game here Sunday, so it could be wild. With that being said, let's get into what's going on this week in High Point sports. The men's basketball team will be the number 5 seed in the Big South tournament and will face Gardner-Webb in the quarterfinals Thursday night in Rock Hill after falling short 88-86 in an overtime game against the Runnin' Bulldogs last Saturday. The Panthers are looking for redemption. Senior Miles Bowman Jr. matched a career-high 24 points on Saturday and is looking to continue that success throughout the tournament. The High Point women's basketball team had a big win on Saturday against Longwood in the Miller Center. Freshman Cameron Brown led the way for HPU with 13 points as the Panthers marched on to an 80-61 victory over the Longwood Lancers. With this win and the Liberty loss on Monday night, the Panthers are now 3rd in the Big South. Saturday, they host the number 1 team in the Big South, the Radford Highlanders, at 2 o'clock, as it will also be Senior Day, where High Point will honor Kayla Keys in her amazing 4 years at HPU. The High Point men's lacrosse team dropped a road contest to the UVA Cavaliers. Michael Leclerc kept his point streak alive with 2 assists, and that's at 46 games now, which is the second longest streak in the country. Goalie Tim Troutner Jr. had a big day, 19 saves and an assist, believe it or not. Up next for the Panthers, they host the Colonials of Robert Morris on Sunday at 4 o'clock. After dropping a contest, the number 19 James Madison, the women's lacrosse team, hosts the Oregon Ducks in Vert Stadium on Saturday at noon, who they beat last season in Eugene, Oregon. Men's and women's indoor track and field will travel to, or they did travel to Winston-Salem last Saturday to take part in the Big South Championship. The meet completed on Sunday as both men and women finished in 3rd overall. Kenazi Brown broke HPU's school record by winning gold in the 60-meter race. Keaton Case Romero Gonzalez also gained Athlete of the Week honors. Outdoor track and field will begin March 16th. Over the weekend, High Point's baseball team lost 1-0 against the Stetson Hatters. Freshman Drew went 6+ innings while just allowing 1 earned run. Yesterday, High Point hosted North Carolina Central and lost 11-5. Carson Jackson went 2 for 5 with a double and 2 runs scored, and the UNCG game that was scheduled for Wednesday was canceled. The Panthers are going to have a home series against Army starting on Friday at 4 o'clock. And that's all the sports I have for you for now. I'll be back in 2 weeks with plenty to talk about. I'll see you then, and as always, go Panthers.
Thank you, Kevin. We'll be really looking forward to hearing from you when we come back. Hopefully, the men's baseball team can turn things around because, of course, they need to.
Definitely, Dave. And someone that could really use a comeback right now is the CEO of Uber.
That's right, Travis Kalanick in hot water this week thanks to the release of a dash cam video that shows him arguing with one of his own Uber drivers.
The CEO has since apologized to the driver, but some are questioning now whether or not Kalanick has what it takes to run a $69 billion company.
And Venezuela is now struggling with only $10.5 billion left in their foreign reserves. Back in 2011, Venezuela had only $30 billion and has steadily dropped off in the past 6 years. According to the country's 2016 financial report, nearly $8 billion of the $10.5 billion left is in gold. Massive government overspending, a crashing currency, and mismanagement of the country's infrastructure and corruption are all factors that have led to Venezuela's extreme inflation.
And when we come back, we have an alternative spring break trip you might be interested in.
And Sydney has our entertainment segment. We'll be right back.
Did you take your medicine? Oh gosh, I forgot it.
Her nurse,
You need a claim number?
her personal assistant,
Let me just grab a.
her housekeeper, her cook, her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. so he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I had something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to HPU News. I'm Jocelyn Ganser.
And I'm David Wintrob. Livy is out this week, so filling in for her is our own Sydney Chevron with your entertainment update. Sydney?
Thanks, guys. Sydney here. This week sure was a wild one in the world of movies and has everyone talking. But in case you have been living under a rock, La La Land was announced as the Best Picture of the Year when in fact the award belonged to Moonlight. Apparently, announcer Warren Beatty was given the wrong ballot. Now, although this appears to overshadow the achievement, this really is an outstanding film, and interest in Moonlight has spiked throughout the country. In equally exciting news, first-time director Jordan Peele's Get Out took #1 at the box office this week, kicking Split off the top entirely. Lego Batman is #2, and John Wick has once again reached #3. Tomorrow, Table 19, a new comedy starring Anna Kendrick, finally comes out. The movie follows the story of wedding reception rejects who are obligated to be invited and ex-maid of honor Anna Kendrick. They stir up trouble, make friends, and even ignite some romance. Teen chick flick Before I Fall is also releasing tomorrow. And music fans, listen up. We are in the last few hours before Ed Sheeran releases his highly anticipated Divide. He has released pieces of songs all week, taunting fans with his new album. Divide is set to be available everywhere tonight at midnight. Future's album Hendrix was released this week, and country group Little Big Town released The Breaker in its entirety. As far as music rumors go, Drake's new album may drop on his Beats One show, OVO, Sound, this Saturday, so keep your ears open. That's all I have for this week. Livy will be back after spring break to keep you updated. Back to you, Dave and Jocelyn.
I don't know if Livy will be back, Sydney. You did a pretty great job, and I don't know if we'd ever want her back. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Sydney. Now listen up, because this next piece may get a little confusing. Former Vice President Joe Biden's youngest son, Hunter, is now in a relationship with Biden's oldest son's widow. In a statement made to the New York Post, Hunter Biden confirmed the romantic relationship with his sister-in-law, Haley Biden, saying, quote, "Haley and I are incredibly lucky to have found the love and support we have for each other in such a difficult time, and that's been obvious to the people who love us most."
Joe Biden has also said in a statement that he and his wife have given their blessing to the relationship, which doesn't surprise me at all.
Finally tonight, spring break is upon college students across the U.S. And are you struggling to find plans? Need a last-minute getaway? Don't want to deal with the boring traffic? Why not drive a tank?
That's right. For a measly $8,000, customers at the 18,000-acre Ox Ranch in Uvalde, Texas, can drive an actual World War II Sherman tank. The whole package includes learning to operate a tank, shooting the 76mm machine gun, and handling a flamethrower. Now that's a hot spring break.
Well, we thank you for joining us tonight. We'll be back in 2 weeks after spring break. Until then, I'm Jocelyn Ganser.
And I'm David Winship. Have a good night, High Point, and enjoy your spring break.
Get caught buzz driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom. It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.